I'm Lisa Wennekes, and I'm very honored to have with me today in interview Dr. Paul Dennison, the founder of Edu-K and Brain Gym. And for me, it's an especially big honor because, it's basically your teaching which guided me throughout all my life. And this coming spring, you will be teaching at the IKL in Damme, and we are using this opportunity to get a little bit of an insight of what we can expect in the class that you will be teaching in spring in Damme at the IKL. So Paul, very much welcome.
Okay. So great to be here. So great to see you.
Yes. So you will be teaching Master in Depth. And Master in Depth is basically about understanding where the understanding about the origins of Edu-K and Brain Gym, and being able to apply techniques more deeply. So, what are the treasures that make this class so valuable?
So the idea of the Master in Depth class was to study with the author and the so-called master of the work and to understand it at a deep level. So people come and see me work and see the depth and the breadth of the work. And the work is so good, people use it all over the world. But when they study with me, they see it the way I do it. I like what they call in the book in Germany, Brain Gym, my way. So you get to see how I do in-depth analysis and work with children and draw out their potential at a deep level. And it's based on my understanding of education. I'm an educator and developed all of this working with the students at my learning centers. And I really believe how children learn is to be liberated and free and laughing and having fun and solving problems, not in memorizing and doing their work and not moving. So there was lots of insights that children should move and play to learn, but no one really did it. In my learning centers, I experimented with movements and discovered that yes, indeed, to get whole brain learning, we get our balance, get centralized, get focused, and learning is not a problem. Learning is a joy when you're discovering and solving problems for yourself.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. So what for me is especially important with what you said is that the Master in Depth is basically an opportunity for people to learn from the master and to see from the master. And kinesiology is all about not only learning like through whatever you see or what you hear, but learning through experiencing, like learning through the body. What is the most important and deepest learnings people can take from this class, from the Master in Depth class?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the work isn't about information, and people come and want to get information, they won't use it. The work is to use it and apply it. When you take the Master in Depth, you practice and get it in your body by doing it. You learn by doing, not by seeing and listening. And we get all the senses together, touch and feeling, and visual, auditory, kinesthetic, all the senses working together on the midline, the midfield. Then learning is a joy and fun. But by the way we've been doing it all over the world is more like memorizing and sitting still and not moving. And not valuing the body. The brain is the body. There's no separation. The brain and body are one. And I've seen it over 35 years, the joy of learning when kids, quote, get it. And this is what it's all about. And people can be better and better and better if they do the movements. And the movements are not magical pill. Movements are to help learn the skills. And people think they just looking for a pill, an easy way, but this is the easy way to use the brain gym to get the hand centralized on the midfield, to get the eyes centralized in the midfield, get the head centralized, and our bodies are designed to work on the midfield, not what we call one-sided learning, homolateral in kinesiology. So.
Mm-hmm. So the educational kinesiology program and the brain gym program is so complex and so overarching, but at the same time it's so to the point and so simple to apply if you dedicate to applying the movement exercises. What drove you in all these years to develop this program?
Mm-hmm. Well, what drives me every day is connecting with the student and seeing what they really need. And it's about love and caring. I step into the shoes of the learner and discover what they need, and draw out the best goal, take them from where they are, really where they are, and comfortably move them forward and see the joy of learning that takes place. And it's the success drove it. There was nobody else doing anything like this when I started. There was theory about the children and how important it is. Way back, Montessori said that the best measure of how a child is learning is how happy they are. And children should learn by doing, not by memorizing. But I did it. I had the students in front of me, discovered all types of techniques that work for them. I was always looking for the one answer, but naturally we have many answers because everybody's different. And but the hardest part, as you say, is how easy it is. It's much easier than a lot of other systems. You just understand about centralized focus of control and movement and being on the midline, and how our brains are designed to move in space and move towards things and away from things, move left and right without losing our balance. It's a wonderful system. It's what we call structure function. We get the body in the right structural alignment, and then the eyes, ears, hands, feet, everything works together.
Great. So what is very amazing and what we're all curious about is, you said, what drives you is basically to meet the people where they are and to take them from there. So what is your secret about seeing where the people are at the moment? Because nowadays in society there's a lot of talk and everybody knows where one should be or where other people should be, but this knowing and seeing where they actually are in that very moment, how do you do that? How do you go about that?
Yeah. Well, we get the best goal. We have the goal wheel. We ask them what they would like to work on. And with children, it's usually sports or some physical activity. So it's stepping in their shoes. When people watch me do it, they get the idea of it. And too often people just do the goal that the person comes with. And my gift is to be able to draw out the goal and get people where they are, and then you have to get a baseline and measure where they are, and how did that feel, and noticing. When we get the students noticing, then they can notice the changes. One of the best things about brain gym is getting people aware of themselves and noticing. And we call it the observer, get that observer sense on, which is part of the front of the brain, and see where you are. And then at the end, we celebrate the change. And if you've learned, why would you forget it? So it's not a fix-it model where we do something and something changes. We learn it and practice it, and practice makes perfect. And people move forward. And we, all over the world, people write in and tell us from that moment on, it was different. And that's what keeps us going.
Great, wonderful. So it is actually just doing the steps, because right now you explained the 5-step model. So the magic of seeing where people are at the moment is basically going through the 5-step model and doing the goal and seeing and noticing. That's wonderful. And because like this is accessible to everybody.
Yeah, the 5 steps are to get ready to learn, and to notice where you are, and to do the movements, and notice the changes, and celebrate. And so the structure of that learning process is a lesson. And most people don't complete the learning process. They're always stuck in that unintegrated space of trying. And it should just all flow and integrate into the functioning self, and then learning takes off. Then you find a new goal when you're ready. So it's a continuous learning cycle.
Great. So you said the most difficult and challenging thing about Brain Gym and Educate is that it's so simple. So what can the people look forward to in your class, Master in Depth, to really open themselves to this step, to really embrace this simplicity and ingenuity of the program?
Well, my goal is to see the class like I see an individual balance. I'm to see where the class is, get them ready to learn, help them to get their goals, and they'll watch me balance several people, and then they have to get it in their own bodies and do it themselves. So they will model and learn the steps and be able to have their own story, their own example of how the process works. So it's not about memorizing or reading about it or having some information. Well, Paul says do this or that. Be able to say, I did it, I know how to do it because I've got it in my body brain.
That's brilliant. So what the people actually get from the Master in Depth class is that they really experience everything in their body. The learning is like really in-body learning. That's wonderful, because from my own experience, this is a kind of learning and knowledge which is so unique, because it's not a learning by heart knowledge which you can repeat and duplicate, but it's a knowledge which you can apply very dynamically and adjust to every situation. Because as you said, once you've experienced it in your body, you can adjust it to every situation. And I think this is also one of the biggest gifts and learnings which I received from applying Educate and Brain Gym every day in my everyday life. So I think we can very much look forward to this class. And from my experience in the past, I had the honor to translate various of your courses. I can just say and share that it is such a unique thing to experience you in class and to really learn, educate, and brain gym from you and from the way you implement it with your body. So it's really taking your classes gives so much enrichment through learning through the language of movement and not the language of theory and brain only.
Brain gym is for those people who believe in growth and change and want to have more out of life. So what I say is, wake up and don't miss coming to the class, and you will thank me for coming. And even if you don't know why you're coming, be there.
That's great. Thank you so much, Paul, for taking your time, for giving us an insight. And I'm definitely looking forward to the class, to experiencing the great brain gym and educate my own body, and also to hear the stories about how the exercises came about. So thank you very much, Paul. We are looking forward to having us with us in Damme at the IKL, and see you soon.
Looking forward to working with you again. It's always a delight.
Great. Okay. Bye.
Bye.